What's up, everybody? Jay here. So, I'm going to talk about some of these trailers that have come out and one of the leaks that's come out. So, I know that pretty much last week we had Supergirl trailer came out, The Last Airbender trailer came out, and the Street Fighter teaser came out. And pretty much they all were teasers. I recorded a reaction to them, but I didn't release it. One, I wanted to give a little bit of time to think on certain things about it, but also it was so flooded at that point in time. So and I wanted to kind of put it all in one and talk about these things. So that's what I'm actually going to do here. So I'm going to talk with the main one at the time, which was a big thing, which was the Supergirl trailer, the official teaser trailer or whatnot. So here was my thing with that. So when I first seen it, the very first thing I said was, this is Guardians of the Galaxy. And, because of how Superman 2025 was, thought it might be a little campy, corny, but then looked at it and I said, you know what? It's a different director, different writer, the whole nine. Yes, it's not going to be a one-to-one of things, but also Supergirl story is more intergalactic, whatnot, and that lends to why it would seem to be a little bit like Guardians of the Galaxy, but I don't think it's going to be too derivative of it. But it does look very Guardians of the Galaxy-ish, part 3-ish, a little bit more than anything, to be honest with you. Some of the color grading, things of that nature. I didn't necessarily like how she didn't, but it's a teaser trailer, so I understand it. I don't think they showed her powers and things like that, but it's a teaser, so that's fine, I guess, I'm looking forward to the actual full trailer that comes out later. So I'm cool with this once I actually sat and I digested a little bit more. People were bent out of shape about the peeing on the Superman on picture thing. It makes sense if you really think about it. And I like the iteration of her because it's not a one-to-one. Again, I'm gonna stop saying that, but it's not a one-to-one, but it is kind of true to the story of Woman of Tomorrow and whatnot. So I'm cool with it, going forward. We're probably gonna get more Lobo, obviously, as time goes on, which is played by Jason Momoa, which he's in another, even though not shown, he's in another trailer coming up. So yeah, I was not like some people on, let's be honest, all of those Snyder bros out there, everything sucks and whatnot. This was this a blowaway trailer? No, but it wasn't meant to be. It was a teaser, and I think it teased enough, and I think it looks like it'll be, cool. You know what I mean? So let's see what the next trailer has to go with. But for right now, I'm okay with that. The teaser trailer that we got for Supergirl. And I'm looking forward to see what comes of it. The biggest thing I say about this DCU is younger characters so that they can carry on and we can have, a little bit of progression and more length to the story instead of just one and down to two and done and whatnot. So the Supergirl trailer didn't look too bad to me. It was just, it didn't pull me into the universe too much more just from what I've seen, but it didn't deter me either. So yeah. Let's get into the next trailer. Speaking of Jason Momoa, the Street Fighter trailer. Now, this was interesting at first. My very first reaction, and I might release my reactions in general because I recorded this and the other one I'm gonna talk about after this all in one. It caught me off guard, right? Because the Street Fighter movie that we had in the 90s with Jean-Claude Van Damme and the late great Raul Julia, they tried to take a realistic stance on it, but it made it very, that movie it was entertaining to watch when you're younger, but it wasn't a good movie. And this iteration, I think it'll be better, and actually I like it, make it over the top, it's a video game. It's fun. It's supposed to be a little campy, a little corny, over the top stuff. That's fine. I seen somebody talk about this today and they said, well, I didn't like the new Mortal Kombat either, where it's like, what are you expecting? What are you expecting? Unless they just do a shot for shot of fights from the movie. No matter, here's the thing. There's no pleasing anybody with most things these days because your average person is very, we live in a very microwave and entitled society. So this is not even what I was expecting, but I was like, okay, cool, because I didn't have any expectations. You know what I mean? This movie doesn't need to lend to me directly. Same thing I always say with the Superman movies. It doesn't need to cater to me. Somebody took their time and created this, you know what I mean? So, but outside of that, the characters look great, I think. Extremely comic accurate. Zangief looks great. Some of the moves look great. Chun-Li looks great. Ryu looks cool. You know, I'm really curious to see this a little bit more fleshed out and see more about it outside the teaser trailer. It looks really good. Like most people said it sucks. I think it looks really good. I think it looks like a fun time. Like I could go to the theater, get my popcorn, get my drink, you know, all that, and just chill and just kind of not have to sit. And I would like to come here and just analyze this movie, but not review this movie, but having to analyze it. Oh, this means this. And then, no, this was cool. Did you see the slam that he did? You know, these types of things. You know, so I'm looking forward to this. This was a good trailer to me after I really sat and thought about it. And yeah, looking forward to the next one. I have no complaints as far as this trailer. You know, and the only thing I had a kind of was Guile at first because the hair is like super blonde, but Cody Rhodes fits that role very well. That's the thing that got me. When I actually looked at it again, I was like, it makes sense that that's Cody Rhodes. It makes sense that, you know, that Slim, E Honda, everything is really, really good. And I think that as time goes on, people will see that and it'll do very good. So looking forward to Street Fighter. I think it was a good trailer. All set to go. Next one we're getting into. The Last Airbender season 2 dropped this trailer. I'm boosted for this because we got Toph this season. She was what was missing from season 1 for me, but I understand it with the timing that they did, you know, the time frame and whatnot. Other than that, but it's good. Aang looking older is good. But anyways, the arrow looks really big now, more pronounced. But Aang being older is a little because, you know, in the cartoon / anime, he's drawn, so you don't get to see his age progress. But now we're actually, because you only see Aang go from one illustration of him to another one when it's the Legend of Korra and whatnot. So this is actually pretty cool because we actually get to see him grow up real time, which I think adds a little bit of, you know, different profiling to the season 2. So, but it looks cool. Wasn't nothing really over the top, you know. The biggest thing was you get to see Toph, and Toph is a very, very dope character. Really looking forward to seeing her. So yeah, I'm all in on season 2 of The Last Airbender. Really not much that we talk about too much. We'll see what route they go with and whatnot. But yeah, looks good. I personally think I'm definitely amped to see that. So far we're 3 for 3. So the Avengers Doomsday trailer, as everybody knows, I'm not breaking no news here, obviously, but we're going to get one trailer the next 4 weeks as Avatar, Fire and Water, or whatever it's called, is released. So each week they're going to give a new Avengers trailer, which I personally must say, I think that is horrible because that is extreme manipulation of your audience. This is why. People who are interested in seeing Avengers, they don't just have to buy one ticket. I usually don't complain about buying one ticket. If you have to buy one ticket to go see the Avengers trailer, that's fine. But if you do that, or they know people like to go online and review trailers, and they will pay their money to go see a trailer, that's fine. You're paying the whole price for a ticket to go see one trailer, cool. They're forcing you, if you really want to do this, and this is what's driving you, this is what's making you, you know, this is, you know, boom, this is what you're on. Once for the next 4 weeks, you have to go and buy 4 tickets. That is manipulation of, you know, the sales for that movie. That is manipulating. Like I don't respect that personally. I don't respect that. One trailer, fine. Making it so that if a person wants to see this, not only do you have to come back this week, but the next week, but then you kind of, you know, you're letting it be known instead of, you know, sometimes they just put trailers in and just let it go. Like, and then people who buy the tickets for that movie, they get to see, I got a different trailer. There are people that naturally going to see a movie multiple times, so they'll be able to see it. But to kind of leak it out to let it be known, because what they're doing is they're like letting it be known so that people know, hey, each week there's going to be a new one. They're not random. They're not like, oh, with this set of movies, this trailer goes. With this set of movies, this one goes. No, it's every week you're going to get a new trailer for Avengers. So every week you have to buy a new ticket to go see Avatar, to see what you want to see Avengers, but, you know, pretty much fluff the numbers for Avatar. That is ridiculous to me personally. I don't respect that, and that's fine. But anyway, so but the trailer in so many, or at least the information in the trailer has been leaked. Actually, the trailer has been leaked, which centers around, you know, from everything they're saying from sources like, actually, I'm not going to say some of the people, but from certain sources, the first one, and I actually seen the first one, is Steve Rogers. Him, in his timeline, they show that he has a son, you know, they show his bike and all this stuff, you know, like, I'm not going to say everything, but it had to do with Steve Rogers. And per the leaks, the other two are Thor and Dr. Doom. I don't understand why Thor, but Thor is a big, so I'm thinking a way to hit home with these movies with Doomsday and Secret Wars, which is going to be a sequel to that. The fact that they have Thor in this, I think Thor might end up, something's going to happen to Thor. That's just my guess. And then the fourth trailer is going to be like a culmination, like the main trailer with everything in it. I'm still going to go to, because with it being a leak, I still think that since I'm talking about it here, I need to go in see, because unfortunately, doing this, I'm going to have to go pay a ticket each week to go see a movie I'm not going to watch because I don't care about Avatar. I didn't care about the first Avatar. It was really cool. I didn't like the second one. I don't care about the third. But for the Avengers, which I am into, and this is how they get their money up, whatever. So, but anyways, so that's what it is. We're going to get 4 trailers for the Avengers. Steve Rogers, Thor, Dr. Doom, and then a combination, which will be the main one. Which ideally will take us around or in the vicinity of the Super Bowl, which is, I'm guessing, what they're going to do. So, yeah. But those are the trailers that, you know, have been the thing. I just want to do them this way instead of just sitting up here. You know, one, I had a lot going on, missed that whole ride, but also just want to talk to them all at once. But hey, this is Jay. Welcome to the Shillville. And as you see, I have the DC logo for Shillville and the Marvel one for this. And yeah, so when you see this, I'm talking about them both, as you can see here. But hey, I'm Jay. Give me a like, a comment, subscribe. Appreciate you. Let's talk a little bit more. We got some news with the DC world with the Batman 2. And, you know, we have this whole, you know, DC purchase and the Snyder Bros. Unlike them, I'm not going to run to it all the time, but I will talk about it. But every little bit of news, I'm not going to try to make an argument for the Gunverse or the Snyderverse. I'm going to let the news fall as it is, and if I want to talk about it, I will. Right now, we're in a holding pattern as far as I feel. So, yeah. Until then, we roam's done. So, yeah, roam gun. All right, Jay out.